Hello, Davida here. Welcome back to Abstract and Flow. I have a new color as my base coat. I'm still experimenting. It is so beautiful. Let me show you. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? OMG. I love it. This is Satin Enamels, Americana Decor, and it's called Deep Ruby. Look at that. Let me show you. Isn't that pretty? Now, of course, it lightened up because I mixed it with the Artist Loft White and the Floetrol. So I'm sure I'm going to use it in some other pours and not use any white so I can get the true color of that paint. I love it. But I think it turned out nice with just the white, lightening it up. Also, I did a test on my tiles. Let me show you the reaction that I got using the Paynes gray and ready to go. Ugh. Amsterdam. Amsterdam was not working for me, but I'm still testing. This is the pearl white. It worked a little too well. Let me show you. Okay, so this is the Paynes Gray, and that is by Liquitex. That is the Pearl White. Now, it sunk maybe a little bit too well. So, let me see if I can get a little closer. Okay. Yeah, it sunk a lot. Hello. Okay. So it's actually been a couple hours since I said, Davida here. So let me show you what happened to the tile that had the white satin Amsterdam paint. It's fairly dry, and it actually dried pretty nicely. So we'll see what happens when I mix it with the Paynes Gray. Now I have an 11 by 14 canvas. I have over 7 ounces of paint in this cup. That should cover this canvas. That was one of my concerns, that I wouldn't have enough paint to cover it. And since we're not really doing anything spectacular other than covering we should be good. So let me show you the consistency. I don't know if I did that before. It is quite thin. It is not leaving a mound. See that? Okay, that's what we want. Now the Paynes Gray, remember you want your colored paint to have or to be slightly heavier or slightly thicker. So let's show you that consistency. It is leaving a slight trace and a little bit of a mound. Don't know if you saw that clearly, but all right, let's look at the pearl white. It's been sitting for over an hour. So let's see if I can show you. Okay, slight mound, a little bit of tracing. So I know that this is slightly thicker than the paint that we're going to use for our base. Okay. Okay, we're going to pour this right in the center. And we're going to torch it a little bit. Some of those air bubbles. This paint was mixed 5 ounces of Floetrol, 3 ounces of Artist Loft White, 1 ounce of our DecoArts deep what was that? Deep Ruby Satin Enamels. That's how that was mixed. Water to thin. I think I used about 2 ounces or so of water. I put it in half an ounce at a time to get this consistency. So let's move it around a little bit. I sure hope I have enough paint. Now we're going to do our gray and white layered. I did not test this, so I have no idea how this is going to look once we pour it. I tested them individually. We got a good reaction from both, but I didn't test them together. So I don't know. Let's see what happens. Okay. Now I'm going to pour not as much gray came out that I wanted. Let's see what happens. Okay, we're getting some shadowing. I like to see that. Let me just go ahead and pour the rest of this on. And if it doesn't all pull off, that's okay. We're experimenting this color, these colors together, not really looking for any particular design, experimenting purposes only. Let's go all the way to that corner. Let's come over this way. Now let's come down as much as we can. We're getting some good reaction. Look at that. Really trying to stretch this as much as possible. Let's help it along. See if we can get moving on this side. And see, only thing about stretching it is up top here is starting to look a little wonky. Okay. Those pearls formed so quickly that I don't even like what's going on. Okay, here we go. Fingers crossed. A lot of air bubbles. Let's torch it. Let's move it around a little bit. It's flowing very well. It should be flowing a little faster, but we're going to work with this flowage. Ah, is that a new word? Just want to make sure I have good coverage this time. Okay. Now, let's get some of those air bubbles. And this is the Paynes Gray. And I am going to start right here. I'm going to do a thick ribbon. And right next to that, I am going to do the pearl white. Let's see what we get. Let's give her a cushion. I want to make sure I have enough paint to make it flow. Okay, very good. Good flowage. Let's go to this corner. Come back down. Let's go over. Come back down again. It's moving very well. Let's cover that corner there. And let's continue to stretch so we can get optimum pearlage. Okay. Let's see what we get. Let's torch it. And I'm hoping our white continues to expand a little. Getting a really good reaction here and here. And getting something right in there, very good. Not really crazy about this area, but we are experimenting. So let's see what happens. Well, will you look at there? Look how that Paynes gray sailed up so nicely on this colored base. Even the pearl white showed up with some sails along the edges. Yes, I like the way this area looks with this base color. So, I wanted to do this because you don't always have to use a white base coat. Experiment, fiddle around with different color base coats. Make it your own. And that's what I like to do. That's what I'm trying to do. Make it my own. using different colors, and I really like the way it turned out. Now, the question is whether or not to embellish it with some other colors. I really haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet. Okay, I'm not the best embellishmenter. I'm learning, but I think it turned out okay. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, you like it. Thank you for spending a little time with me. It's been a long day. I'm going to experiment some more with this with this color. I really like it. So stay safe out there. Stay blessed. See you next pour.